Hi, hello. With this video clip, I'm going to give some quick tips to build a LaTeX document from the Microsoft Word document. So we probably have, say for example, a Microsoft Word document that all the entered things from that document we want to transfer and to build in a LaTeX document. LaTeX is very important to learn because for most of the scientific research purpose, uh, they usually ask for mm, their manuscript made up of LaTeX. However, what we basically need at first, we need a software, the background software, which is called Modification, as you can see. So we need to install them. Um, it will be available in the website Modification. For example, we can have a look here. Say we have Google here, and if we ask for uh, Modification, then it will show us here, and definitely we can download uh, from here Windows, Macs, and other versions. So that's easy. We have to download the MyText and we have to install it. So this is basically will stay at the background. We wouldn't use that directly, but all the database will created and all the libraries that we will use in our LaTeX development will be residing here. So this is something background, and in our foreground we need another software which is an editor. So I would prefer to use the Text Studio. There are many other LaTeX editor, but the Text Studio is available also, it's free as well. So we can look for the Text Studio here, Text Studio. So if we go here, and we can download it from here, and this is applicable for any kind of operating system, irrespective of Windows and the Mac. So these two things we have had with our environment. Apart from that, I would recommend to have another software called JabRef. JabRef is for managing the references. Without JabRef, it is possible to manage the reference, but JabRef is pretty easy. It makes the things more free to control over your reference manager. So we'll go for the JabRef. Let's look at here. So this is JabRef. So we can download it from here, and also we can actually install it to our system. So I'll show you how all of those three works. So first of all, MyText, you wouldn't be worried about that. You have to just install it. It will stay somewhere as a supporting for your editor, LaTeX, and we directly work on the LaTeX and also JabRef. So we'll work on the LaTeX for our documentation and every other things, and for managing references we'll use JabRef. So let's have a look. This is my LaTeX editor, and this is my output, and all the things like all the chapters and I mean the menus will be visible here, and yes, and the JabRef looks like that. This is the JabRef view. So those are actually the database of the reference. We'll use this database later, and simply what we'll do, we'll keep all of our databases here. We'll build these databases here, and we will reference the database like here. So there is a copy option, and this is the site BibTeX. So we'll copy it here and we'll put it inside inside the documents like that way. I'll show you everything. I'll show you everything on after another, but this pretty much we need to do. So with this documentation, I'll actually show how to modify the template. Basically, I'll use the template, and then how to create the chapters, sections, subsections, as well as how to manage the figure, table, and referencing. So let's go. This is my editor, LaTeX. We can see a lot of things are here. So this is the main text. However, for that tutorial, I'm going to use a template that I have been downloaded randomly from internet. You can ask for a template of latex. Template of latex. Template of latex. Get a lot of things. You'll get a lot of things in a lot of places. Just download anything that suits you. So I download on here. The output is actually looks like that. As you can see, this is the output. So we have to modify this uh, according to our necessity. And in that case, what will I do? I'll show you how to transfer mostly the text and all the resources that has already been developed from Microsoft Word to that template. So I have a document here, as you can see here, this is the documents. I'll show you how to transfer it to the LaTeX. So this is the main text. Yes. So in case you can see inside the template, we have few. This is the template. This is the overall template folder. We have few things. We have the main documents. That is the main documents where you will edit everything is here. This is the main text. So you have to open it in your LaTeX environment. So open with LaTeX Text Studio. So it will definitely open this view. You'll get this view here. Okay, so it contains a lot of things. And also there are some other things when you compile your this main text, then it will produce a PDF definitely, and also some supporting files. Okay, every time you'll run these things, these files will be updated. So you don't need to bother about them. You don't need to delete them. They will just stay here. And for troubleshooting, sometimes you may have to delete them and again recompile them. That's another issue. That's the advanced level of working. Apart from that, we have few other things that we don't need to actually bother. This is the class file that actually defines the structure of the thesis. We don't need to bother about that. Just stay with that. That will be here. Our chapter will be produced, and the chapter will be stayed here in that folder, and our appendices will be produced. That will be stayed here, and all the figures probably will produces here. You can keep the figures here as well. Say I picked two figures here, but for better management you can pick these figures from here to there. As you can see here, that's not a point. However, now let's go to the main documents. In the main documents, as you can see, this is the main documents. These are main documents. Inside the documents we have already on chapter 1, but let's first look at the main documents. We can see in the main documents there has been a lot of instruction. There are a lot of codings here, and some of the codings are producing some outputs here. For example, like this is thesis title. So if I change it, for example, if I go to change it from here, the title here, I'll just copy it from here, I'll go there, and I'll put it here. Okay, so probably it will change the thesis title. Similarly, you can change everything here. You'll see it here, you'll find out here where it is located here, then you will change it. For example, you don't know where the where the supervisor, so you can just go to the find section, then you can write that supervisor, then you can see here the supervisor. So yeah, so now we can put the supervisor's name here, and it will be changing accordingly here. Okay, so there are some other things. For example, you can see a lot of things here, and you don't need to bother all of those things. If you want to see any changes here, then you'll just try to find out relevant text here somewhere, and you'll just modify that. That's it. You don't need to bother much about this for the time being. For any advanced level of asking, you definitely may ask me. Beside that, you can go to the Google and you can ask to the Google, and there are so many helps. So that's pretty easy. So here you go. So you'll change, I believe, the author. Say for example, if you look at the author, yeah. So this is the author name. So as you can see, author, so it should be John Smith. We have to change the John Smith. John Smith. John Smith should be written somewhere. So the supervisor, John Smith. John Smith, Dr. John Smith is the supervisor. However, so we can change it from here, I believe. Well, so yeah, you can see John Smith is here, author, text. Yeah, so I'll come to the John Smith changes in later of my video because I can't see it here. I believe it is somewhere else. If it is not here, I'll show you what where it is. We have another file as you see that yes, here you can see this is a file. It may be residing here somewhere here too. So it has been opened here. If we look at John is not here. Then John must be here. We have to find out John Smith. John Smith, you can see here John Smith, but we can't see the name exactly. So let's try to find out John Smith once again. Yeah, John. This is author John. Yeah, so yeah, so here it is, John Smith. Say for example, Janab, saying, I don't know whether I misspelled this name, but whatever. So now this is the compiling button, compiler button. If you hit this button, you'll see the changes here. Okay, so like that way you have to change a lot of things. You have to just copy and paste and find out the relevant places to do that. And while you're doing that, you'll gradually learning about the Latex. So at this time, you don't need to start from the scratch. What you have to do, you have to just copy all the chunks, all the text from the documents, Microsoft Word documents, and you have to paste it here, and you have to see the reflection here, what is going to happen. And every time you change a large portion of it, I would expect you to copy, you to make a backup. So you'll change the main file, like this file, to rename it main1, main2, or main3, so that if anything happen, any compilation error happen, then you can get back to your previous version, and that will help you for continuously improving your documentation. Otherwise, if you stack in some places and you have done a lot of work and you don't know what happened, but suddenly it happened after some changes, then you can't probably go back unless you solve the problem. But if you keep all the versions one after another, after most of the significant changes, then any changes may lead to you an error can be avoided by simply going back to your previous version where that doesn't have that changes and there is no error. I hope this makes easy to understand. Now let's see what I have to do right now. I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So we have chapters, as you can see here. This is the main file. We have chapters. So I have released down chapters, as you can see here. Include chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So if you just, this is the commenting button. It is like working as a comment. So if you just remove that percentage signs, which is comment, is indicates that comment, then a new chapter will be released. See, new chapter. This is a new chapter has been released here, chapter 2. Similarly here, chapter 3. As many chapter you need, you can simply uncomment it from here, and you can jump into here, and you can put everything here. Okay, so for example, in this chapter, this is the first chapter, there are many texts here. I'll show what you have to do. For example, you can just copy from here and you can paste it here to get an initial view of your chapter 2 like that way. But all you have to do at the very beginning, simply you have to define /chapter and chapter title here, and then you have to say the level here, like level 2. So this is, since this is chapter 2, that would be chapter 2, that would be chapter 2. Say for, I'm going to give the name of this chapter is methodology, something like that. So you'll change that accordingly, and you'll put all the text and still bring the things from here. So let's look at the chapter first. Here is the chapter 1. According to that documents, the chapter 1 is introduction, I believe. So let's go to the chapter 1 here. Chapter 1, all you have to do, okay, all you have to do that you have to say the title of the chapter, which is introduction. Chapter 1, and keep them alike here. Those are some codes, you don't need to worry about this. So for the first section, for example, this is the section, right? For the subsection, I would say, okay, fine. So yes, I can say it's chapter 1, chapter 1, chapter 1, and I can say here this is introduction, section is introduction. Okay, and I can create subchapter like here. I can create like something like that. Yeah, subsection. Okay, in subsection I can see background. Ground is there. Okay, so from the background, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy them here. Okay, so copy here, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, now I understand that there is a reference. I'll show you the reference. How can you transfer the reference from here to somewhere else? Okay, so I'm going to hit the compiler button, and I can see well, I can see some problems like, okay, so what is the problem? Command secured already defined, new command, where line number 10, line number 10. Okay, so this is probably because of it. Yes, so I don't need them, I'm going to delete them. Okay, so now if I, okay, if I do that, then what happens? Chapter 2 is methodology, chapter 1. So I'm working on chapter 1. It has reflecting here without any error. As you can see, that part I actually copied from here. Okay. So, well, so I think, yes, in that case, I think you need to just think about the organization. I was firstly thinking about the name of the chapter. I think the chapter name should be introduction here again. So it's introduction, and chapter level, maybe chapter 1 is okay. Then you can go to for section, maybe background is the section. I would say that background would be a section. So manage that things in some way that becomes more meaningful. Sections, subsections are okay. Okay, so since I'm just transferring it from here, I can't see many other things here. The chapter, there is no chapter 1 or 2, just it started from 1 or 2. That's why it is happening. But I would appreciate that if you subdivided everything into a chapter name, and the chapter number. That would be more meaningful, and that would be very good organization of a report. However, it's up to you. You can change it, you can keep it like that way, or you can change it accordingly. So now for referencing, okay, let's go for referencing. So all you have to do, like, yes, you have the references, right? So we will keep the reference here. Okay, we'll keep the reference here. For example, I have already kept some references here, as you can see here, and I'm going to copy it. So you have to copy it in that version, like cite bibtext.key. Okay, so we're going to cite it here. For example, we are going to cite it here. For example, we're going to cite it here. So I'll just paste it here. Okay, so now if I say, okay, if I hit the button, okay, if I hit the button again, is that working? Yes. So I can see the site is here. Okay, and it creates a bibliography here. That will be done automatically. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So there are some styles for the referencing. The styles is defined. Well, the styles is definitely defined somewhere, but I'm not going to shed some light about all of those things right now. But the style that has been defined in the um, style file can be changed. It can be make it some other format. So there has been defined a format. For the time being, this format is okay. Maybe in some other later video, I'll show you how can you change it and how can you transfer it to a number style or API style or something like that. That's one of the okay things for the time being. And yes, here you can see the bibliography. The file that the bibliography is generating is here, example.bib. Okay, so that has been defined here. The example of bib, I believe appendix has been defined somewhere here. This is the bibliography, print bibliography. Okay, so include appendix. Okay, so yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So let's look at the bibliography, where the bibliography is. Bibliography. Yeah, here the print bibliography given here, end document and reference. We can change the reference style. I'll show you later. However, I'll come back to here again. But before then, that one thing I want to say that, for example, this is the main chapters, but for example, for the abstract, what you have to do, abstract are residing there. For example, my abstract is here. Okay, so I'm going to copy the abstract. And I'm going to paste the abstract here somewhere where the abstract has been defined. Okay, yeah, so this is the abstract base. Okay, so as you can see here, you have just replaced these things with that thing, and if you just hit the compile button, it will definitely give the abstract. And you can change the other things. You can, if you don't want to have here, you can just make them as a comment so that they goes away, and this is also possible. However, there are some other things, the acknowledgement. If you want them, you can keep it, or if you don't want them, you can make it comment here, like acknowledgement. this is acknowledgement. So what you can do, okay, so if you made them under comment, then acknowledgement will be gone from here. There is no acknowledgement, it strictly go to the content page. The beauty of that work is that the content page will be automatically generated, the list of the figures will be automatically generated, and list of the table as well. If you have any table, any figures that in your documents, then they will be automatically generated. You don't need to worry about that. Only the things that you have to write down the right code exactly. So that is the thing that you have to copy and paste. Now I'm going to show you how you can have your figure. So this is the code that I have copied from one of my documents. So you can reuse this code. All you have to do, like, this is the code, and yes, this is actually the pictures that you're going to use. So for example, um, for example, uh, for example, you're going to have a figure here, and according to these documents, this is the figure probably. Okay, so basically I have already transferred this figure, copies these figures, and make a uh, PNG file here. As you can see here, this is the figure that I kept in that main folder, my thesis folder, and I give the name of the figure here, and I give a lot of structures like the height and width, and to give it a name here, for example, the Internet of Things or something like that. I'm going to give a level of that figure, maybe figure 1. This is the first figure, or figure 1, or 1.1, whatever you want to do, you can do that. And this is the end of the figure. Now if you hit the button, then definitely it will be looks like that. And you can change this by using something like that, like, you know, the height is, for example, 3, and 0.3, that is the total 30% of the text, and with maybe 60% of the text or 70% of the text. Then you can see bigger pictures here. Uh, like that way you can control the size of the figure. Again, suppose for examples, you have another figure which is a PDF figure, picture 1. You want to incorporate this as well. So say for example I'm going to incorporate this here. Then all I have to do, I have to copy this here, and I have to paste it here. I have to use this name, picture 1 PDF here. Okay, so this is the PDF file, PDF picture, and yes, I have to change the name. Maybe yeah, maybe picture name is here, picture figure name is here, and I have to change the name. Maybe it's a 2. Then if I hit the button, then definitely it will get changes. Okay, so like that way you can transfer all of your figures uh, into Latex documents, and you have to just simply make individual file of them and keep them in your folder, and maybe here or there, maybe here or there. Then you have to compile this. Okay, and this is all about figure. Now look at some tables. Okay, so table is pretty simple. There are some tools here already, like wizard. Suppose I'm going to have a table here, somewhere here. Okay, then I can make a table from here. So quick tabular, as you can see, I can define the number of columns here, I can define the number of rows here, I can say number of device. Then I can see 1, 2, 3. Then I can see rpi, I can see dongle, etc. So you can just simply transfer your table, if there have any table, into it, and you can just say copy, and that will automatically generate these things. So if you now hit these things, yes, then the table will be generated here. Okay, so there are some other way to generate the table. There are some help in website too. So Latex table generator. So there's some online support. You can generate your table from here, and you can, after having the generation, you can get the code, and you just need to copy the code and paste it here somewhere, then it will be automatically generated. So all of those things will happen in that way. You can transfer, I believe, every part of your document accordingly. So yes, I can show, I already shown you yeah, how to generate the chapter. All you have to just go to the main, and then you have to release them, and inside the chapter you can have your section, you can have your subsection, you can have your subsection. For example, you want to make it a subsection, then say sub, then sections. So that will be 1.1.1 or something like that. If you hit the button, you have to give a title. Okay, title is given here, so this is the subsection. Okay, so similarly you can have I believe your document very well organized and very well looked, robust in your LaTeX after transferring from your doc. So I believe with that short video, I try to show you how to transfer your documents from the Microsoft Word to a LaTeX document. And in case of JBrave, the other thing I want to show you, that it's very easy. All you can do, like from here, at first you can create your database from your bibliography. Say for example, you have this bibliography and you have your JBrave. Then all you need to do, probably you can yes, so those are something like different. You can add them manually, and you can find them from the internet. If this is a paper, you should find them from the internet. So see, this is the title, and here is the JBrave. Then you can search it. Okay, so you can search, web search, and you can show that Google Scholar. You can give it here, and then you can say fetch, and that is here. Then select, and then okay, so that becomes here easily. That's pretty easy. Then simply you can copy it, you know, the copy bibtex with key. Then you have to cite it inside the things. For example, here, for example, yeah. Then if you hit the button, here is the references, and the bibliography will be automatically generated here. So in that way you can just simply create your database. The other thing is that you can have your manual input, like here. Okay, so not this one, the previous one. This is not the one. So you can create, if something like that, in case of these, we can see here, probably you'll not get this in internet exactly like that way. All you have to do you have to create it. How you can create it? You can go to the JBref, you can ask for a new things. If this is a you know, what kind of the things is, you have to identify. So if this is article, you have to hit the article. If this is a technical report, you have to hit the technical report. Okay, so something like that, in proceedings and masters, unpublished work, anything like that. And yes, and you know, so you can say, for example, this is a conference, so you have to hit the conference. Then you have to give in the title here, you have to give the name here, and you have to give the year that has been published. Then you have to hit the button here. Then it will be coming here. Then you can get the copy things from here, and you can go here, and you can put it here. Beg your pardon. Yes. You can do it here. Yes, the copy. Yeah. So, oh, you have to give a key. This is the key that I didn't give, and that's why it doesn't get the key. Mr. Or yes, what the name has given there. Let me have a look. Yes, it has been given like blockchain technologies, BB blockchain technologies. It's misspelled here. Yes. So something like that. Yes, something like that. And then you have to hit the button here. Then you'll get the key. You have to give it here, and then you have to go here. You have to paste it here. This key generated, and then you have to hit the button, and I believe you'll get the output. Yes, so this is the reference, and this is the bibliography. We can transfer it to IEEE format 1234, something like that, or style API. I'll show you that later. That is very easy. You don't need to bother about that. In case of any format, we can change it by simply putting a code here before here. So that would be slash reference style and bracket. There will be IEEE number or APA or something like that. In some other cases I'll show you. So that's not a big deal. Once you have all the bibliography, once you have all the references there, you have to just give a command here. It will be automatically changed. When you say it is IEEE, it will be automatically generated as IEEE. When you say it is APA, it will be automatically generated by ATP. So you don't need to bother about that. All you need to do, have to transfer your all document resources from here to the text file. I hope this video will guide you to do that. And if you have any query, just let me know. Thank you very much.